I think spending more time on the TMP and really breaking down the plan to be more specific to the various phases of work. The plan really viewed the project as a single phase. We were really just looking at the paving portion, but there was more work than that I think we could have had some discussions about regarding work zone safety issues during that. Then as far as the PI aspect of the TMP goes, the main thing we focused on was the impacts of active construction, setting our lane closures, our detours, and the actual nature of the work. We didn't really think too much about the design decisions that were made before construction. We were modifying the configuration through intersections, and that ended up being one of the primary public inquiries we got on the project. And that was something that was decided well before the construction phase. So that wasn't really something we'd thought about. But of course, most residents aired their concerns during construction, even though the decisions were made during design. While things are on paper, people don't necessarily pay as much attention to it, even with decent outreach. But once we're actually grinding off pavement with the mill, that's when people start paying a lot more attention. The primary lesson would be to see if I could have been involved a little bit more with the pre-construction design on some of that initial stakeholder involvement, just because I wasn't really aware of a lot of the concerns that were going to be coming up from our construction activities until they actually did come up, or at very least trying to touch base with the design team as much as possible, not just relating to the design of the project, but also the public information concerns and getting more information about the stakeholder involvement. While wrapping up another construction project, I did have some time with the design team, and I think I could have had more conversations about the work zone safety, the public information, just to really get their thoughts and what work they've put in so far, rather than kind of figuring out after the fact. I wish I'd known the scale of public involvement on this project. We had public inquiries on our hotline every week. We had people approaching the crews every day. We were working out there, talking to foremen, talking to the inspectors, talking to me if I was out there. We even had numerous individuals reach out to their local representatives, their city councilors, and really getting everything involved. While I wasn't prepared for the scale of it, I also should have stressed more that these public inquiries need to stay through the proper communication channels. We ran into a lot of issues where there were large email chains going around. Members of the public were calling me, they were calling the project superintendent, whereas really all of it should have been going through the public information manager and then out to us. And that really just kind of muddied the chain of communication, meant that maybe we weren't able to address the public inquiries as effectively as we otherwise could have. I think making it very clear to all members of the staff, from the inspectors to even the laborers on the project, of giving them all the public information managers cards and letting them know that this is the proper chain of communication. I think that gets a little bit more difficult when you have members of local government reaching out to individuals higher up within CDOT, because of course then they're emailing me as the project engineer, and those email chains have my contact information. I'm the one having that conversation. So I'm not quite sure a better way to go through that, but making sure to at least loop in the public information manager for all of those conversations. I think the project went pretty well, and I'm proud of the finished product. I think that we handled all the issues effectively. We addressed all the public information inquiries very professionally. Traffic control plan was revised. The MHTs were changed as needed to improve safety and mobility through the work zone. We addressed a couple of plan errors and omissions that became apparent during construction. And in the end, we completed the project both ahead of time and under budget, so I'm proud of that. I think as far as the TMP goes and all aspects of it, it can be just a requirement on paper, or it can be something that you really look at and utilize. And I think it really depends on how much you as the project engineer or the member of the CDOT staff, how much time you put into it. Granted, it's the contractor's responsibility to prepare it, to update it, and implement it. But if all members of the project aren't really looking at it, then it's just something on paper. It's not actually a process that improves anything.